Mazda 2, you're up. Since the customer complained about too much oil in the car, what we're gonna do is check the oil. Oil has been checked already. That oil is definitely too dark. You need an oil change. I mean, the dipstick is black, so the oil is gonna be a little bit darker. It looks okay, but I myself would do an oil change. Now let's check the amount. Double dip that, take it out. Okay, so those two hash marks are your minimal and full. What we want to do is have this top hole at least full and not much more higher than that. Look where we are. We're an inch and some change over the refill holes, so that's not good. It's definitely too much oil in the vehicle. Take that off. Take these apart. This is to get under the PCM and the air box to see if you got any vacuum leaks under there. Now you got a bunch of codes, but what we're looking for in here is 171, which means it's a vacuum leak. You're running too lean, there's too much oxygen getting in the car. 172 means it's too rich. It's not enough air. So this is the first reason why we're getting enough air. We're not getting enough air because the air filter is absolutely filthy and it's full of debris. This is the intake. You got bees and bugs, and dirt and stuff inside of it. And that is where the air filter goes. Take that out of there. What we're doing is looking for vacuum leaks. We're looking at this hose here. I don't see anything back there that's busted. I've inspected all these hoses already to see if any are busted, loose, or off. We're gonna get that off. And I can tell you now, by all the work that had to go into getting that intake air off, these spark plugs probably haven't been changed in a while. We've actually got that code up here, P0300 spark plugs, random or multiple misfires. Otherwise, I don't see any vacuum hoses down there. That's coolant. It says that the EGR is malfunctioning, so I'm looking for the plug to see if it's plugged in or not. That's plugged in. EGR is having a problem. There it is, P0403 EGR. And with all the other problems, saying low coolant or the timing chain has been affected by P0222, which is a low oil or contaminated oil, and something's going on with either the timing chain or the motor because the oil is low and black. The oil was added, my understanding, and something was done to the car prior to the oil being put in. P0118 coolant temperature sensor is malfunctioning. The car doesn't know how hot it is. That's a problem with the vehicle upon starting, especially in the morning. The car needs to know how warm it is so it can operate regularly. Should I say normally? 102, that was one of mine. P0122 is indicating that the throttle body is having a problem. Now that's the throttle there, and where this tube ends up on this box, on that tube right there where the map sensor and the ECM is, this is where your air filter is going. So like I said, if the air filter is clogged, it's not gonna be able to circulate the oxygen through the motor like it needs to. So otherwise, these are all the codes that are actually on your vehicle. I'm gonna leave them on your window so when you get home, you can actually clean these off. Just wipe them off with a wet rag and it'll come right off. So with all that said and done today, spark plugs, oil change, air filter, charger about $150 for the full tune-up. You're getting the inspection now. I started the vehicle. I was under the impression that the head gaskets were gone because of the too much oil. That is not the case. The car was started. There was absolutely no white smoke or exhaust coming from the exhaust. So that's a good sign for us. Car sounds regular, so at this point what we'll do is just do the tune-up, get that oil out of there, put the fresh correct amount of oil, and go from there. Clear the codes, make sure they're all gone, make the car run back normal. And of course, if you can see that, it says oil change, so you do need an oil change. Not only is the low oil prior to you putting oil in there affected the car with all these other codes, but it's saying that you need an oil change too. This is Billy at Billy's Autos. If you need your vehicle inspection, charge this lady $60 to come out to San Bernardino from Fontana. It's the going rate for a light inspection. I'm at 909-486-6891.